the sun begins its slow descent across the vast, flat expanse of the Australian outback. A profound silence settles over the landscape, broken only by the whisper of the evening breeze through the desert oaks. And there, rising from the earth as if by some ancient magic, is a colossal form. It begins to glow. First a soft orange, then a fiery crimson, and finally a deep, smouldering red. The light seems to emanate from within, a slow burning ember at the very heart of the continent. This is Uluru, a place of immense power and breathtaking beauty, a spectacle that has captivated human hearts for tens of thousands of years. This monolithic giant holds two names. To the local Anangu people, the traditional custodians who have lived here for millennia, it has always been and will always be Uluru. This is its true name, a name that carries with it deep cultural and spiritual significance. But today, we rightfully and respectfully acknowledge its original name, Uluru, a testament to the enduring presence of the world's oldest living culture. It is a name that commands reverence, inviting us not just to look, but to listen. As the last rays of sunlight paint the rock in shades of violet and deep purple, one feels an undeniable connection to a time far beyond our own comprehension. The sheer scale and a palpable sense of age are humbling. It is not merely a geological formation. It is a landmark that has witnessed the dawn of humanity on this continent, a silent observer of countless generations, and a central character in the stories that define this place. To stand before it at sunset is to witness a daily miracle, a natural performance that has been staged without fail for millions of years, a truly unforgettable experience for any visitor. The transition from fiery red to dusky shadow marks the end of another day in the life of this ancient being. To truly appreciate the scale of Uluru, one must look at its physical dimensions, which are staggering in their own right. It rises to a height of 348 meters, 1,142 feet above the surrounding desert plain. While this is impressive, it is perhaps its circumference that gives a truer sense of its immense bulk. To walk the entire way around its base is a journey of 9.4 kilometers, nearly 6 miles. It is a walk that reveals ever-changing faces of the rock, each fold, fissure, cave, telling a different part of its long story. It is larger than many city centers, a single solid piece of rock dominating the landscape for as far as the eye can see. The famous glow, that remarkable transformation of color at sunrise, sunset, is not a trick of the light, but a fascinating geological phenomenon. Uluru is composed of Arkose sandstone rich in a mineral called feldspar. Over millions of years, the iron particles within this sandstone have rusted, a process known as oxidation. This infusion of iron oxide, essentially rust, is what gives the rock its default reddish-brown hue. When the low-angled light of dawn, dusk strikes the surface, it scatters through the atmosphere and illuminates these iron particles, creating the spectacular, fiery display that has made Uluru world-famous. Geologists estimate that its rock formation extends downwards for at least another 2.5 kilometers, and perhaps as far as 6 kilometers, into the Earth's crust. What we witness is only a small, weathered portion of a colossal underground mountain, a geological wonder that has been slowly revealed over hundreds of millions of years of erosion, a true giant sleeping beneath the desert. This geological history is almost beyond human comprehension. The rock itself began forming around 550 million years ago, born from the erosion of ancient mountains. The sediments were compressed into stone deep underground, later tilted nearly 90 degrees to their present position by immense geological forces. The slow wearing away of the softer surrounding landscape by wind, water has left this harder, more resistant rock standing proud. Every groove and scar on its surface is a testament to this immense passage of time, a physical record of the planet's deep history written in stone. For the Anangu people, the traditional custodians of this land, Uluru is not simply a rock. It is a sacred living entity, the physical evidence of the creation stories that form the basis of their culture and lore. This belief system is known as Tjukurpa, pronounced Tjukurpa. Tjukurpa is a complex concept that encompasses the past, present, and future, explaining how the world and everything in it came to be. It is the law, the religion, the moral code for life. Uluru is a central chapter in this living Bible, where the journeys and actions of ancestral beings are etched into the landscape. The entire surface of Uluru is a map of these creation stories, detailing travels of ancestral beings like the Mala rufous hair wallaby, Kunia woma python, and Liru, poisonous snake. These stories are not myths of a distant past. They are living truths that guide daily life, social relationships, and the management of the land. For Anangu, these stories teach vital lessons about survival morality and one's responsibility to the community and to the earth itself, making Uluru a place of profound learning. Evidence of this long and continuous cultural connection can be found in the many rock shelters around the base of Uluru. These paintings were used to record history, teach Tjukurpa to younger generations, and illustrate important events. Some sites are so significant that they are considered places for gender-specific ceremonies and are not open for general viewing, a practice that respects the deep cultural protocols that still govern the area. Viewing this art is like reading a sacred manuscript, one that has been carefully tended for thousands of years. Understanding this cultural significance is the most important part of any visit to Uluru. It transforms the experience from one of simple sightseeing to one of deep cultural immersion. It helps one to see the rock not as an inanimate object to be conquered or photographed, but as a living cultural landscape that is deeply revered by its traditional owners. This perspective is vital, for it is through the lens of Tjukurpa that the true meaning and spirit of Uluru are revealed. It is a place that demands respect, quiet contemplation, and a willingness to learn from its ancient guardians. For many decades, a common activity for tourists visiting Uluru was to climb it. A chain was installed in 1964 to assist climbers up the steep western face of the rock. However, this practice was always a source of deep pain and distress for the Anangu people. From their perspective, climbing Uluru was profoundly disrespectful to a sacred site. It was also a dangerous activity, and they felt responsible when people were injured or died. For Anangu, Tjukurpa law obliges them to care for visitors to their country. The path of the climb follows a traditional route taken by ancestral Mala men upon their arrival at Uluru. This is a sacred story, and tourists treading that path was seen as a desecration. The Anangu people patiently requested for many years that visitors choose not to climb. They placed signs at the base of the climb. The signs were written in several languages. The panels explained the cultural reasons for the request. They asked people to respect their law and culture. The Anangu never wanted to forbid the climb outright. They preferred visitors listen and choose not to climb. As visitor numbers grew and awareness increased, momentum shifted. More travelers began to heed the request, choosing to walk around the base instead of going up. This change reflected a broader shift toward more culturally sensitive tourism. Finally, on 26 October 2019, the climb was permanently closed. The date matched the 34th anniversary of the park's handback to the Anangu. The closure was a landmark victory for the traditional owners. Today, with no line of climbers on the spine, Uluru can be seen as the Anangu have always seen it, a pure, sacred, inviolable natural monument. With the climb now closed, visitors are encouraged to connect with Uluru in ways that are far more rewarding and respectful. The single best way to experience the monolith is the Uluru Base Walk. This 9.4-kilometer trail circumnavigates the rock, allowing you to witness its incredible diversity up close. The path takes you past textured surfaces that shift from smooth, sheer, pitted, and cavernous. You will see secluded waterholes, such as the Mutitjalu waterhole, which are vital sources of life in this arid environment and hold deep cultural importance. This walk is not a race, it is an immersive journey of discovery. The walk provides an opportunity to see the rock from every angle, and with each turn, a new personality seems to emerge. You will pass through groves of desert bloodwood trees and wander past caves and overhangs that have provided shelter for millennia. It is along this track that you can truly appreciate the sheer scale of Uluru, feeling dwarfed by its magnificent presence. It is recommended to start the walk early in the morning to avoid the midday heat, allowing you to take your time, absorb the profound silence, and notice the subtle details that are missed from a distance, and sunset viewings. Designated viewing areas are strategically placed to offer the most spectacular vistas of the changing colors. At sunrise, the experience is one of gentle awakening, as the first light of day gradually illuminates the rock, bringing it to life from the deep shadows of the night. Sunset, in contrast, is a dramatic and fiery crescendo, a final, brilliant burst of color before darkness falls. Both moments are profoundly moving and offer perfect opportunities for photography and quiet reflection on the beauty you are witnessing. For those seeking a deeper understanding, joining a guided tour led by an Anangu ranger is an invaluable experience. These tours, often focused on a specific section of the base walk like the Mala Walk, are not just about geology or botany. They are about storytelling. The guides share Tjukurpa stories connected to the very part of the rock you are standing beside, explaining the significance of the rock art and the traditional uses of local plants. This is the most authentic way to engage with Uluru, learning directly from the custodians who have cared for this place for countless generations. While Uluru is undoubtedly the main attraction, its sister formation, Kata Tjuta, is equally mesmerizing and spiritually significant. Located about 50 kilometers to the west, Kata Tjuta means many heads in the local Pitjantjatjara language. This name perfectly describes the formation, which consists of 36 enormous domed rocks. They spread over an area of more than 20 square kilometers. For the Anangu, Kata Tjuta is an extremely important sacred site, associated with men's law and ceremonies. The stories for this area are very powerful and are therefore kept private, adding to its air of profound mystery and reverence. Exploring Kata Tjuta offers a completely different experience to Uluru. Here, you can walk deep within the formations themselves. There are two main walking trails: Walpa Gorge Walk, Valley of the Winds Walk. The Valley of the Winds Trail is particularly spectacular. It takes you on a circuit through the heart of the domes, down into lush creek beds. The sheer scale of the rock walls on either side of you is humbling. The silence within the gorges can feel absolute, creating a powerful sense of isolation and peace. The entire region is designated as Uluru Kata Tjuta National Park. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site recognized for both its natural and cultural values. That dual listing acknowledges the landscape and the human culture as inseparable. The park's ecosystem is a delicate example of desert survival, home to hundreds of plant species, dozens of mammals, and a rich variety of birds. From hardy spinifex grass to elusive marsupials, every element plays a part in this intricate web of life. Visiting both Uluru and Kata Tjuta provides a more complete picture of this desert landscape. While Uluru is a single, solid, imposing presence, Kata Tjuta is a sprawling, complex collection of domes that invites you to enter and explore its valleys. Both are fundamental to Anangu Tjukurpa, and experiencing each deepens appreciation for the region's cultural and geological richness. A journey to the red heart of Australia is truly incomplete without spending time with both of these ancient, awe-inspiring natural wonders. As your time in this remarkable place comes to an end, it is worth remembering a few practical tips to ensure your visit is safe, enjoyable, and respectful. The best times to visit are during the cooler months, April to September. The summer October to March, temperatures often soaring above 40 degrees Celsius. This can make outdoor activities difficult and dangerous during the middle of the day. Planning your visit for the cooler season will let you explore more comfortably and fully appreciate the walks and outdoor experiences. Regardless of when you visit, carry ample water and protect yourself from the sun. The desert climate is extremely dry. Dehydration is a serious risk. Always carry at least 1 liter of water per person for every hour you plan to walk. A wide-brimmed hat, sunglasses, high SPF sunscreen. These are not optional, they are necessities. Take these precautions so your focus stays on the beauty, not the climate. Join an Aboriginal-led tour. Hear the stories from the traditional owners themselves. That provides a context and depth no guidebook can. Support the local community directly. Gain genuine insight into the world's oldest living culture. Transform your trip from a holiday into a meaningful cultural exchange that stays with you. Finally, as you watch Uluru blaze with color one last time, carry a sense of gratitude and respect. This is not just a tourist destination. Home, a church, a living museum. Walk softly. Listen to the stories, heed the wishes of the Anangu. In doing so, you honor the immense cultural and spiritual legacy of this sacred place. We are all visitors, privileged to witness a wonder holding the heart of a continent and the soul of its people. Let us leave it as we found it, a place of peace, power, profound beauty, for all future generations.